Sri Lanka will call Platinum 1 a landmark. Only 70 will call it home. Because the address and where you live matters. Platinum 1, the finest address in Colombo.
And up next is Sports First special segment, The Bitter Truth.
On the 27th of November, the International Olympic Committee announced that the constitutions of all sports associations which are members of the National Olympic Committee must be reviewed. The announcement also noted that the elections of all these sports associations must be held again, based on recommendations of the respective world sports bodies. Board of Control member of the World Badminton Federation, Professor Ranjit De Silva, warns that as a result of the conditions imposed, which must be fulfilled within 6 months, the Sri Lanka Badminton Association is at risk. Professor Ranjit De Silva says that this is because the IOC's announcement comes amid an ongoing investigation undertaken by the World Badminton Federation into a complaint lodged by 6 of 11 affiliate associations claiming that the concluded elections for the National Badminton Association were corrupt. Professor Ranjit De Silva revealed today that the World Badminton Federation had appointed a committee specifically to look into Sri Lanka at its last general meeting.
The 6 affiliates who withdrew have been engaged in talks with the Minister and the Director General from April, July, August. They held talks without informing anyone else, but they aren't listening. So in September, they wrote to the World Federation.
A letter addressed by the chairman of the National Olympic Committee to the IOC also cites the concluded badminton election as a primary example of the ad hoc use of the sports minister's powers. Here is an excerpt from that letter. At the concluded elections for the Badminton Association, the nominations of veteran administrators such as Sam Chandrasena, Arya Nanda and Ranjit De Silva, who has even won the national championship, were rejected, and the chief position was granted to an individual who has not even participated in any accepted tournament. However, the ministry issued a report that the elections were fair and using sports regulations committed the first irregularity. End of excerpt. Nevertheless, the president of the Sri Lanka Badminton Association, Suraj Dandania, says that he sees no risk of an injunction being imposed against the association. He claims that the chairman of the National Olympic Committee has made false submissions regarding the badminton election to the World Badminton Federation as well, based on personal opinion.
We know how sports management and governing bodies are manipulated, how elections are manipulated in sports. So what is required under the international practices, best practices, is to ensure that our local laws and the practices are changed suitably to be consistent with international standards.
Does the lackadaisic attitude that is being adopted when it comes to resolving the badminton crisis affirm that there is political interference and intervention in sport in Sri Lanka, as claimed by the complaint lodged with